Middle School, we are committed to providing a safe and caring environment for our students. We rely on our students, our staff, and our students' families to create a climate where everyone feels safe, comfortable, and accepted. We want our students to love coming to Lawrence Middle School. We strive to promote academic excellence, and our teachers utilize strategies based on current research and the most effective classroom practices, all while recognizing individual differences in learning among our students. Our school encourages academic leadership, character development, and intellectual curiosity. At Lawrence Middle School, we work together to help our students become tomorrow's citizens. Middle School, we are committed to providing a safe and caring environment for our students. We rely on our students, our staff, and our students' families to create a climate where everyone feels safe, comfortable, and accepted. We want our students to love coming to Lawrence Middle School. We strive to promote academic excellence, and our teachers utilize strategies based on current research and the most effective classroom practices, all while recognizing individual differences in learning among our students. Our school encourages academic leadership, character development, and intellectual curiosity. At Lawrence Middle School, we work together to help our students become tomorrow's citizens.
Good evening. So that was our 3-2-1 video that you just got to watch. Hopefully you were watching, I'm not sure. But you can watch it again because we are live right now on Verizon Channel 39 and Comcast 19. We are also streaming live on YouTube. We will be recording tonight's presentation. So if anything that you missed, you can watch it again. So it will be posted. So don't worry about jotting down notes, taking pictures of screens, because you can go home and watch it again. So relax and enjoy what you're going to hear. And hopefully the message that you just saw on that 3-2-1 video was that Lawrence Middle School, LMS, we love our school, love my school. We want our kids to love coming to school, as you heard Julia just say on the video. We want them to enjoy their classes, their teachers, just everything about the middle school. So welcome. We're really glad that you're here tonight. This is the first of 3 orientations. There is no pressure in coming to all of them. So let me give you some inside track information. This one, we are talking about academics. Everything academics. I have my great staff here. Our supervisors are all here, our 7 through 12 supervisors, and they're going to be talking about the academic program, what it looks like here at the middle school, and then kind of moving to the high school, because our job here is to get them ready for high school. So you're going to hear from them about our academic program tonight, and then on June 6th, we invite you to come back. You'll hear from our student ambassadors. They will be talking about some of the same things. You'll hear a little bit about academics. You'll hear some about the clubs and the activities, which you'll also hear tonight, but you'll hear it from students. You'll also have the opportunity to be here during the day when students are here in the building to get a feel, because we know that there's lots of chatter out there, that people talk about the middle school, and then you might think that it's a big, scary place, and it's not. We love our school. It is very welcoming. So we want you to have a feel of that during the school day as well. And then again in the summer, on August 29th, we'll invite you back, and again, it'll be the same stuff. So if you want another refresher, you can come back in August. We will be meeting with the kids. We'll be going to LIS next Thursday. Our student ambassadors, myself and Mr. Brzezinski, will be going to the intermediate school, and we will be doing a very similar orientation there, and then again in August. And then we have an open house, and that open house, all that means is that the doors are open. And you can come in, and it's the day before school starts, and I can't remember what that day is right now because I'm thinking about the end of school now and not the beginning of school next year. But that was in the flyer that was sent to you, and it's all posted everywhere. We'll get to that. But that open house is really that last chance to come in, walk the building, check lockers, put some stuff in your locker, get all set for the next day of school. So I didn't introduce myself. My name is Mindy Molaski. I am the proud principal of LMS Nation, and that's what we call ourselves. You will see on all of our social media, we are LMS Nation, and we are very proud of that. So you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I even have set up a Snapchat, and I'm not good at it, so it hasn't really been functioning, but we have one. And you can always find us on our at our LTPS website. Mr. Brzezinski is our assistant principal. We originally planned for this night to be on Monday the 21st, and then we found out that there was some concerts. I guess everybody wasn't looking at the calendars, so we ended up changing it to Thursday, and he had his own children had a concert. So unfortunately, he's not with us tonight, but you will meet him if you come back on other occasions and other evenings, and he's a great guy. A little bit about me. This is my 26th year in education, all in Lawrence Township. I started off as a teacher at the high school. I was then the dean of students. I was the assistant principal at the high school, and then I came here as assistant principal, and then the principal, and I think I've been the principal for 8 years here, I think. I can never remember how long it's been because I love it. We have a great time. We really enjoy it, and you're going to see that as we talk through the night. What to expect when you come here. And you see this on the board: caring, student-centered environment, excellent faculty. We take pride in what we do. To be a middle school teacher, you got to be somebody special. And they are, and they really care about kids. You're going to hear about our challenging curriculum. We like to have open communication. I am very direct. That might sound harsh sometimes, but I'm very direct in my conversations. I'm open for you to give me a call, email me. You can email any of our staff as well, but we want you to reach out to us. Please do your communication. This is where I'm going to tell you stuff. Please don't do your conversations on Facebook. Do them with us. We have the answers. We're here. I love that you want to reach out to each other and get your answers, but we're here and we can help you and direct you to the people that need to give you that information. So I really hope that you'll take us up on that and to call us and communicate with us your concerns. And there's a lot of social, emotional development in middle school. There will be times that they are prickly, and some of them are sitting here. They have bad days, they have great days. They're going to tell you that they want to go to school and wear certain things, and you know it's against the dress code. They're going to tell you that they didn't have any homework and they had 4 classes worth of homework. There's going to be stuff. They might get a detention in middle school, and it's okay. It's okay. And they might even get a detention because you made them late to school. It's still okay. This is where they need to learn that. They need to learn the coping skills. They need to learn, how to push the boundaries and how to move back. So there's going to be times that you're going to love them, and then there's going to be times you're ready to pass them on. So social emotional, we do a lot of this. We talk about being aware of who we are, what we're doing, self-management, relationship skills. And that means we're not talking boyfriend-girlfriend stuff, even though we do talk about boyfriend-girlfriend stuff. We're talking about relationships with adults, with their teachers, with you. How do they handle those difficult conversations? If they did poorly on a test, they got a D or an F, and you're expecting them to get A's and B's. How do they have that conversation with you and not be shamed? So we really work on those things, having a social awareness, not only here in our community, but outside of the walls of Lawrence Middle School. And then obviously responsible decision-making skills. So we do all of this plus a very rigorous curriculum. But I'm going to tell you, this is the heart of it. Because if they don't have this, they're not going to be successful over there, and they're not going to be successful when they leave Lawrence High School. So we need to start building these skills now. And this is a really important part of moving on as adolescents. So facts about us. We have 600 students here. It is 2 quick years. It might not seem like that, but it is. It's 2 quick years. We have 7-period day, and they meet for 51 minutes. Each class meets for 51 minutes. They have math, language arts, full year social studies, full year science. We have health and PE, world language survey. When you'll hear more about that, when they come to 7th grade, they take a world language survey class. 8th grade, they pick their world language that they want to study for the full year. Health and phys ed. We have lots of instrumental groups, choral groups. We have G&T. We have team activities. We have 2 school counselors. Get to know them. Reach out to them. They're fabulous people. And then we have a child study team that consists of 2 school psychologists and a social worker. And we are very lucky also to have a mental health therapist located here in our building. It started this year. Both the middle school and the high school both have one, and it's our partnership with Sage. And so if you need assistance, we're here to help you. If you have not had a chance to go on in and look at some of the things that we're doing here at the middle school, we do a lot of video presentations. So tonight, like I said, we're on Channel 19 and Channel 39, and we're streaming live. We put out a lot of programs like that. And so if you go back and look at our website, you'll see those are archived there, and you can watch things that our counselors have done talking about our mental health resources that we have in this building, but also in the community. We recently did a YouTube show on vaping. If you don't know anything about vaping, you need to start to learn that. You need to learn the lingo of middle school. So we put those things out. These people play a huge role in that communication. We have academic support instruction in both language arts, reading, and math. We have ESL, we have special education, and we continue with the one-to-one initiative in this building. Technology still is big here. We have a house structure, and I'm sure all of you have heard about it. You're excited what house you're going to be in. You're either going to be in Phoenix, Orion, or Draco as a 7th grader and 8th grader. They stay in that house for 2 years, and they are house leaders, and our house leaders for Phoenix are Miss Bozarth, in Draco is Miss Reynolds, and in Orion is Miss Strominger. They're your go-to people. They know everything that's going on in the building. I'm looking at a mom that's been here before. She's shaking her head, yes. They know everything that's happening with your child in their classes. One of the things that we are changing, and we're not changing, those of you that have been here before, because I've seen lots of faces that have come through already. The one thing that is going to be different is in the past, we have kind of kept house legacy, family legacies going. That's not going to happen anymore. Oh, the room gets, oh my goodness. And the reason is we've had some changeover. We've moved staff to different places. We feel like we need to do a change in that. We also finding that people are like, well, they already know where this is where I'm very direct. So I'll tell you, we already know, my friends are all going to be on Draco because their brothers and sisters were on Draco. So now I'm going to go meet with Miss Mlaski in the summertime, and I'm going to come up with some story of why I need to be on Draco. And I'm going to tell you, we don't honor you being with your friends. That is not something that we think that's important. I will gladly have a conversation with you about your son or daughter and their learning and the types of teachers that they are most successful with. But we have a variety of staff here. And each house has its own identity. They're different. So we're just rolling the dice, and that will be, your house will be what it will be. So, but again, if you would like to come in and meet with me, I would love to meet with you, and I will try to do my best in terms of setting them up in the right direction. But know that what you might have heard, and this is where rumors and things like that come in, don't go by that. Your child is different. Your child is unique. Give them the opportunity, okay? Don't go by what you've heard. And that's important. Be open-minded. And the houses, they move around. There are classes that are have more than one house in them. They will see their friends in the hallway. They might see them at lunch. The hallways, you're not just stuck, this is where this group is, or this is where, they're all over. They're all over the building. And reminder, kids don't come to school to be with their friends. They come to school to learn. The other thing that happens is this, is that, and I'll use my friends Melanie and Mary over here. So Mary really wants to be with Melanie. But Melanie's parents came in and said, I don't want her to be with Mary. But Mary doesn't know that. Sometimes Melanie doesn't even know that. But now Miss Mlaski knows that. That's a heavy burden for Miss Mlaski. All right, so I get it. You might not want your child with other kids, but they don't know that, and then the other parent doesn't know that, and they're coming in, and so we don't honor that. All right? You want to give me a list? That's great. They may or may not get with that child. So I'm telling you this now, because when it comes in the mailbox on August, it's going to come probably the 29th, around the 25th or 26th. Yeah, mark it down. If you're going to the shore, I know someone else is going to have to check your mailbox. You might have to check Genesis 3 million times to see when it becomes live. There may be tears. It's going to be okay. There's somebody on that house that they know. I can guarantee you. It may not be their bestie, but there's somebody on the house that they know. It will be okay. They will make new friends. It'll all be good. All right, so I've been talking about my friends over here. Let me introduce them. Dr. Bariexca. He is, give him a round of applause, audience. Come on. At home, you can also applaud for him. He's got a lot of jobs, as you can see. He is the supervisor for K-12, so you might have seen him around already, for technology, the librarians, the art, and music. And at the high school, business and family and consumer science. That's a lot of jobs and lots of hats. All right, Miss DeReamer, there she is. She is our 7 to age 21 special education supervisor. So she's got a lot of knowledge and she's busy. Miss Philmeyer, she's got a lot of jobs too. And she is our guidance and career readiness, and an important job as we now start to think about post-high school. And so Ms. Philmeyer can give you tons of information. You will be seeing her from now until you graduate, programs that she will run for you about getting ready for college and beyond. And if it's not college, military, work, vocational schools, she's your girl right there. And then all of the mental health stuff, all of the district testing and assessments, she's our girl for that too. And then we have Miss Panasowich, math and science. And let's be honest, how many people came here because they want to know about math? Go ahead, don't be shy, put your hands up, be honest. We know she is famous for this night because everybody wants to understand math. And then Dr. Mary Pankos, and she's got a lot of titles up here as English World Language, Social Studies, ESL, but she's also doing 2 jobs right now. If you did not know, we are in the, right now we are looking for a new superintendent. So Dr. Zuckerman is the acting superintendent right now, and he's also the director of instructional services. And Dr. Pankos is filling in for him, doing acting supervisor of instructional services, director, something is your title like that. So she's got a lot of jobs right now as well. Greg Zenerovich, who is not here, is our athletic director. If you are somebody that is going to be involved in athletics, we have a couple slides that I will be going over tonight, but that is the name to remember in terms of athletic information. All right, take a look at these school times. And we put these up here because I see the whispers of the kids. Oh my goodness, I have to be in school at 7:45. Yes, you do. You can do it. Just the alarm clock goes off a little bit earlier. All right, school day ends at 2:45. We have early dismissal at 12:15. When we have early dismissal, we do not have lunch. And then the building opens, it really kind of opens around 7:15 because that's when buses start to get here. All right, our students do travel with the high school on the buses. Don't be afraid of that. It's okay. They live in your community, they're in your neighborhood, you know who they are. And if we need to assign seats, we will. But we're pretty good on the bus. The high schoolers are tired in the morning, so that's good. And then everybody's crazy in the afternoon. So we do meet at the bus port. Everybody meets together to get on their buses. The first day is hectic. Second day is a little bit hectic, and then they're all good after that. Everybody finds their bus and gets where they need to be. But the building, if you're going to be dropping off, supervision doesn't start till about 7:15, 7:20. As soon as that first bus arrives, then we let them in the building. And when they come in, our 7th graders go to the gym and our 8th graders come in here. We serve breakfast. So if you're late getting them something to eat, we do have a breakfast program. They can grab something here. It's pretty much a grab and go kind of thing, but they can also eat it in the lunchroom if they have time. All right. This is ways that you can communicate. We talked about this before at the beginning. There's lots of different, see if I can get rid of that, I don't know. Nope, I didn't do it right, sorry. Okay, so parent access to Genesis. Did you guys check your grades now? Show me hands, interactive here, very good. At home, are you raising your hands? Good. Do not, I'm gonna tell you this, and you're not gonna listen, but I'm gonna tell you, do not check it every night. Right? You've been here before, haven't you? You heard this. Do I not say it every year? No, you haven't been here. But I tell you every year, you will make yourself crazy. And the reason is, it is a live grade book. So some teachers, they put their assignments in, they're the people that are like really precise, they got tons of stuff. They have their lesson plans done now for next year. So they'll put in the assignments, and maybe they made a mistake or something, so it looks like they're failing a class. And what happens is, your child comes home, you're waiting there. What has happened? You studied all night, how did you fail this? Blah, blah, blah. You're screaming, your head is about to pop off. And they're like, Mom, the grade book's wrong. It's not, they didn't mark everything. Calm down. You're like, I don't care what you say. It just happens, I'm telling you. You lose your minds because of Genesis. Do not lose your mind. All right? So, a healthy thing, and the other thing too is, don't set it up so it gets you alerting and you're getting emails daily. I know you. It'll make you crazy. It'll make your child crazy. We also want to have them start learning how to do it themselves. So that's the other thing. That goes back to the responsibility. Okay, self-monitoring. So yes, there needs to be that healthy check. You don't want to be like totally hands off. And when they say to you, I got it, don't worry about it, don't check, don't listen to them on that either. You still need to check. Okay? You still need to monitor. You still need to check their cell phones. You need to look what they're doing on their email. You need to figure out Snapchat. You need to look at their Instagram, their real Instagram and their fake Instagrams. You need to look at them. Okay? If they're sleeping with the phone in their room, that's a no-no at this point. You need to take it at night. I see these girls in the back. Let's get a picture of them so we know who they are. I see them. They're like, oh no, she just called me out. So, but seriously, you really need to make sure that you're not going crazy checking Genesis because it is live, and if something didn't get handed in, the other thing too is if they took the test first period, it's not going to be graded by 2:45. They didn't have time. All right? It may take 2 days. It may take 3 days. So give the teacher a little opportunity. They could have upwards of 150 or more students. It's not like in an elementary school where they only had the 25 kids all day. All right, they have 150 kids taking that test. So it's going to take them not time to grade that. All right, LTPS website, you should go to that. It has great information. I'm pretty sure this has a link to it. But if you don't know our website, it's moved. It hasn't moved. It must have been an old link, so I apologize. All right, so this is our link. This is what it looks like, Lawrence Middle School. We post tons of stuff down here. So there's quick links. Where did all the stuff go? Okay, well, it's really there. I don't know what's happening right now. But in the center, there's a bunch of news. And that's where all of our information is posted. So I'm not really sure what's happening there, so I apologize. Teacher websites, if you go to that page, they are no longer just teacher websites where they give information. All of our, pretty much, I will say our entire staff uses Google Classroom. Some teachers will give you the code as parents to go onto their Google Classroom. Otherwise, you're going to have to look at your child's Google Classroom page. Who knows what Google Classroom is? Anybody from the internet? Very good. Okay. So Google Classroom is where they can post assignments. They're usually posting the daily do now, whatever activities. They're posting links to articles, they're posting links to videos, they're posting links to worksheets or homework assignments. Everything is there. And what's great is all of the classes are there. So when you go to Google Classroom for your child, every class should be listed there. Sometimes they don't, I've been looking at them, they don't even erase their classes from previous years. So you'll be able to see all of their current classes in Google Classroom. You'll get a lot of alert nows. How many people got my phone call? Oh, please raise your hands. Okay. We call you. We say this is LMS Nation. We send you emails. Anybody get an email from us? Please raise your hands. We send LMS Nation emails. If you have not gotten a call from LMS and you have not gotten an email, then please call the LIS office and check to make sure that your auto dialer phone number is the right one that you want. Usually it goes to mom, dad, grandmom, kid, and everybody at the soccer field all at once. All of a sudden the phones start ringing, and you're like, oh, it's Lawrence Middle School. So if you did not get a phone call and you did not get an email, please make sure that information is correct. You can go on Genesis and also double check your information, but make sure that we have that. We have an LMS Nation Facebook page, tons of information and pictures there. You get quick news from the district, and we have a Twitter and Instagram, as I said before, all LMS Nation. I love this night because tonight when I go home, I'm going to see everybody that joined our groups, and I'm like all excited. So it's a good thing. We have a cardinal code, and what we do here is we reach for the stars. We want our students to be ready, responsible, and respectful. Those three things. We teach our kids what that looks like. There's lots of signs in the hallways. In the very beginning of the year, we go through. Kids can earn star tickets. They earn incentives. Each Friday, we have Prize Fridays, and they get pretzels, they get Dunkin' Donuts, they get gift cards, they get t-shirts. So if they're showing us these three things, then they have a chance to win something. We also have a house point system. When you came down the stairs, you probably saw the score right here, because we have a house cup, and this next month of school, it gets crazy around here because we want to earn as many points as possible. You can earn points for just wearing your t-shirt. You can earn points for all of our spirit and dress-up days, making the honor roll, perfect attendance, and then our house relay events and all of our field day and things like that. So at the end of the year, it's very exciting to see who wins those competitions. We're very competitive here. All right, I did a lot of talking. You guys good? We're doing a check-in. All right, Dr. Pancoast, you're up.
Hi, thank you all so much for coming out tonight. I'm going to talk a little bit about the programs that I supervise, which are English, Social Studies, World Language, and English as a Second Language. So we have 2 years of each, which is awesome because you're only here for 2 years. We're not going to keep you any longer than that. For English in 7th grade and 8th grade, we've updated our curriculum a bit. We have a lot of new genres that the students haven't been exposed to, such as science fiction, dystopia, fantasy literature, literature from different perspectives, dramas. So there's a lot more variety in their curriculum than there has been in the past, and it's really interesting. We've had a really good year. Tonight we had a family book night with our English department, which was Fahrenheit 451, which is one of our 7th grade books, and we had a really good showing tonight. Yeah, so we're really happy about that. We also have ASI, for both 7th and 8th grade. We're just going in. With the ASI class, it's an extra period with whoever your English teacher is. So you get a little extra support in English as you need it every other day. We have a communications class. That's for both 7th and 8th grade. We work on public speaking skills in those classes, and we have a new curriculum for next year that focuses on developing those soft skills like manners, which we know our students all have. But yeah, we want to make sure that they're able to present themselves to adults, and like Ms. Milowski mentioned earlier, that they're able to be successful not only here at the middle school in forming relationships with their peers, but with you, with other adults, and eventually as they go to get a job or go on into college. So that's really important to us here. We have a seminar class which focuses on nonfiction and writing skills. The students have that every other day for a semester. And we like to sharpen our student skills there. For social studies, we have 7th grade is American history. We have a thematic approach, so it's not chronological. We try to get our children to really think about how events in history have shaped our lives as Americans and what those events in the past mean to us now and how they affect us today. 8th grade is world history, and that's the start of a 2-year sequence. So in 8th grade, they have world history that starts right after the Roman era and continues into 9th grade. So it lays the foundation for their 9th grade year. And finally, as Ms. Milowski mentioned earlier, we have world language. We have a world language survey in 7th grade. It runs on a trimester. We have 3 classes, and students get a sampling of each of the languages that we have. So we have a trimester of Spanish, trimester of Mandarin Chinese, and a trimester of French. For their 8th grade year, students choose one of those classes and take that class for the entire year. So let's say that they take Mandarin Chinese. So they have Mandarin Chinese every other day for their entire 8th grade year. At the end of the year, we recommend those students to Chinese 2 at the high school. So with that path, we're able to get students into an AP class if they continue on with that language as they go through. So we have AP Spanish, AP French, and AP Mandarin Chinese at the high school next door. And finally, we have English as a second language courses for students who are eligible and who qualify for English language services. That replaces their English class. If they're more proficient in English, they might have the ESL class and a regular English class. We want to support our students as they're learning English and make sure that they're successful in all of their classes along the way. Now I'll pass it to Dr. Bariexca, who will talk about his departments.
All right, good evening, everybody. I promise you I'm not tweeting. These are my notes. I'm a right-handed tweeter, so. My name is Damian Bariexca, and as Ms. Milowski mentioned earlier, I am the supervisor of almost everything. But tonight we'll be specifically focusing on art, technology, music, and library. So how the visual arts program works at the middle school is the 7th grade course is a trimester course, just as in 8th grade, and the 7th grade art course focuses primarily on 2D art, two-dimensional art, and the 8th grade course focuses primarily on 3D art. And as you are walking the hallways, either on your way out this evening or if you come back for any of the other future events or concerts this year or early next, take a look at the walls. Ms. Richardson, our art teacher, has decorated the entire school, and a lot of the students' art is all over. She really takes great pains to display the students' hard work and the artwork they create and have all throughout the hallways and in the display cases as well. Mr. Stamatelis is our technology teacher. He teaches in the robotics and computer lab, or technology lab, I should say, right by the front entrance of the school. And in the technology class, which also was a trimester class, your students will learn about information literacy skills, some basic introductory web design. Mr. Stamatelis also spends a lot of time talking with students, pulling current events and talking about kind of the role that technology plays in society and kind of ethical decisions that occur around technology, almost like a social studies approach to technology. And finally, he'll spend some time building on the work that Mrs. Rubenstein and Ms. Miller have done in the elementary and intermediate grades, working on emerging computer programming skills. And after they go through 7th and 8th grade, students who go up to the high school will have the opportunity to take courses in introductory computer programming courses in JavaScript, in Python, robotics courses, and eventually we also have an AP computer science class as well at the high school. So we really have bolstered the computer science program, and the foundation of that has started already, and Mr. Stamatelis continues that here. In the music department, we have a couple different ensembles. We have certainly our vocal ensemble with Mr. Zumchak. We have the traditional concert band. We have the jazz band. We're now in our second year of having, or we will be, next year in our second year of having a jazz band at the middle school, which I think is Mr. Tagliarino's done a wonderful, third year. It feels like two. Mr. Tagliarino and Mrs. Clark and Mr. Zumchak do a wonderful job. We have just been recently recognized as a best community for music education, not just at the LMS Nation, but in Lawrence Township as a whole, for the 10th year overall and our 6th year in a row. So our music staff and administrators are doing something right, I think. In addition, this won't be for next year, but for 8th grade, students will have an opportunity to take as an elective course a performing arts class that is a little bit of stagecraft, a little bit of musical theater, a little bit of improvisational theater, and that's another course that I think is a wonderful opportunity, not just for the technical piece as far as dramatic arts are concerned, but also from the social emotional piece. There's very few disciplines that lend themselves quite as well to understanding other people's perspective as acting, where you have to put yourself in the shoes of somebody else and understand their motivation. Finally, it's not a class per se, but I would certainly be remiss if I didn't mention Mrs. Kramer, our librarian, and Ms. Coleman, our library assistant, who work very, very diligently with all the teachers in all the disciplines throughout the nation to help support information literacy skills, general literacy skills, the March Poetry Madness competition, the maker space in our library. If you haven't had a chance to see our library, folks, please do. It really is the heart and soul of the nation. There's so much to do there. Our students find themselves down there on a regular basis, playing chess, working on puzzles, doing something crafty in the maker space, writing, reading for pleasure, reading for school, conferencing with Mrs. Kramer and Ms. Coleman and their teachers, and it's just a wonderful, wonderful place where kids always feel welcome. So that's a wonderful resource to have. On the next slide, it speaks for itself, I think, but this is just a brief overview of the co-curricular program. As I mentioned, we are a best community in music education here in Lawrence, and we have many opportunities for students to get involved regardless of their musical preferences. We have concerts, as we do at the younger grades, concerts in the fall, concerts in the winter, concerts in the spring, Tri-M, Honor Society, special events. They go to Hershey Park for competitions periodically. So there's a lot of opportunities to get involved. Ms. Richardson also runs an after-school art club. I believe they were involved in doing some sculpture work down at Captain Paul's most recently. So we really do try to connect the community to the school in that regard as well. Yeah, absolutely.
Do you have another slide? Okay. So one thing that that's going to be a little different from in years past is that we used to, if you were in LIS, in band, orchestra, or chorus, we would just roll it over, and then you would be in band, orchestra, and chorus here at the middle school. We would give you the opportunity to call us in the summertime and opt out. What we're going to do is ask you to opt in instead. I will be sending you most directions and most likely a video that will give you directions on how to register in Genesis. So you will have to go into Genesis and select if you want to be in band, orchestra, or chorus. I believe jazz band, we're going to be getting recommendations from the intermediate school. So if you're interested in jazz band, you can put your name in, but we'll also be getting those recommendations. We just had our arts festival. That's why you see the artwork that's all around the building, but it's normally, Mrs. Richardson puts that stuff up But we are very proud, as you just heard Dr. Bariexca, of our fine and performing arts. We also have, I don't know, it's not on this list, it's probably going to be on our other co-curricular list. We do put on a musical production every late winter, early spring, I guess. March is, yeah. So it's, and it's always fabulous. And we just had, with our arts festival, an opportunity for our students and had an extravaganza after school. There was singing, there was dancing, there was monologues, there was acting. They really, our students are so talented, and we're so fortunate to have fabulous staff. And as Dr. Bariexca said, we also have a Hershey Park trip that we go to every other year. So this year is a Hershey Park trip year. Next year would not be, because we're going to be raising the funds for it. So your 7th graders will have the opportunity in 8th grade, if they're in band, chorus, or orchestra, to go to Hershey Park. That's usually where we go. And they have a competition, and then they get to go to the park, and they get evaluated while they're there as well. All right, without further ado, oh, actually, one more thing. I got a message from somebody that's watching, so I appreciate it, that we are all in black and white. So I actually am wearing black and white, if you didn't know, so that's a good thing. And Ms. Panasowich is wearing orange, for those of you that are out there, but I apologize that your slides are not colorful at home, but they look really nice here, right, audience? Yes, yeah, give me that. All right, so Ms. Panasowich.
Thank you. And thank you all for coming tonight and making time to learn about the programs we have here. So I do supervise math and science, and I just want to go over some things with you. Your child will take science each year that they're here. And what we have done is kind of unique. It's the first year that we've done it. We run a year 1 and a year 2 curriculum. The science standards are not grade specific. They're actually in a band grade 6 through 8. So wherever the student receives instruction on those skills and concepts is not grade dependent, but needs to be covered within that grade span. So what we chose to do here is to run a year 1 life science and a year 2 physical science. All students next year will take year 1 life science. If I'm a 7th grader this year, I'm currently in the physical science year 2. So all of our 7th and 8th graders will be in life science year 1, because it's not grade specific, but grade band specific. That allows our teachers to collaborate more. It allows us to focus our resources, time, and energy more effectively as a science department, and we thought that that was a good way to go. And it's been working out really well this year, and we're going to keep that program moving forward. So as 8th graders, your students will be taking the physical science year 2 curriculum. The life science that they'll be taking as 7th graders is a foundation for the freshman biology that they'll take when they go over across the driveway, but we reinforce it's a foundation, it's an exposure. We go to a different level, obviously, at the high school, and it would be the same for the physical science. It's a foundation and preparing them for the high school studies. In mathematics, we offer the courses that you see here. We have our Math 7, which is your at-grade level course. Both our math and science standards are aligned to the New Jersey Student Learning Standards, our curriculum is, and each of these areas is modeled off of a national curriculum, whether that be the Common Core for math or the Next Generation Science Standards for science. And these standards are very different, they're very rigorous, they're very concept, big picture, model thinking. In science, there's big picture thinking. In mathematics, it's not so much rote computation, but understanding why the computation works in mathematics. Probably very different than the educations that most of us received while we were in high school and middle school, where perhaps computation was more of what you needed and not necessarily a deeper concept or the why to what we're doing. So we have Math 7, that's our at-level course. We have Math 7 Accelerated. The difference between the two. The state recommends compressing a curriculum. Math 7 Accelerated is a compressed curriculum. That curriculum includes all of the 7th grade standards plus 1/2 of the 8th grade standards covered in one school year. We take no prisoners, we move quickly. It is a class for the very adept math student. We have 8th grade math, which is our on-level course, and then Algebra 1 in 8th grade. Algebra 1 in 8th grade is no joke. It's no joke because it's all of the high school algebra standards plus the other half of the 8th grade standards that the students didn't receive yet. So it's a year and a half of a curriculum in a school year. We also offer ASI, academic support instruction, in both Math 7 and Math 8. It is a little different from the language arts. We have a dedicated teacher to that. They don't go to their math teacher if they are in the ASI program. They go to a dedicated ASI teacher. That's Miss Coyle. She's wonderful. All of the math teachers are wonderful. And she's very patient with our students. And in that particular class, they'll do some pre-teaching and then some reteaching. For a student who struggles in math or has difficulty or needs additional exposure to skills and concepts, it's very much a confidence booster when they can do something in their ASI class, and then when they go to their standard math class and they're able to participate and feel good about themselves, that's a big win for our students. It's a very big win. So we do have ASI. And then in addition to that, we have Seminar 7 and Seminar 8. And both of our seminar classes are semester-based, so 2 marking periods. They would go one semester, 2 marking periods as a 7th grader to math seminar. And what we did with this particular program that a majority of the students get is we took select topics out of the standard curriculum and kind of moved them into seminar so that we didn't have to worry about not missing something in the standard math class, again, because the standards are so robust. It's a way for us to actually give them more math on level with the standards that need to be covered. I want to just go back and talk a little bit about Algebra 1. Algebra 1 is a graduation requirement for your children. They need to score a level 4 or 5 on the PARC. In whatever school building they take Algebra 1. That is a lot. So if your child is in Algebra 1 in 8th grade, when they sit for the PARC, they are actually sitting to meet a high school graduation requirement on that assessment. That's the information we have from the state at this time. It could change, but that's the information that we have now. So I wanted to share that with you at this time as well. So, math placement criteria. I'm already getting emails.
Sure. Sorry. I just want to broadcast to the people that are watching on channel 19 or 37, you may need to switch over to YouTube because the station air that time we have is only till 8:30. So if you get cut off, go to YouTube and LMS Nation.
For those of you that are here, don't worry about changing channels. You're good. Okay. Keep you all on the same page here. So, these are the classes, these are where your students can be placed into. That information has been provided to the 6th grade teachers. They have their spreadsheets of data. They have a deadline on when to provide that information to me. I actually lay my eyes on every child's set of data. It takes a very long time, and then I come and I sit with Ms. Malafsky, and we go over to make sure I didn't miss something. So how does this work? Here are the criterias. If the student is currently in Math 6, to move into Math 7 Accelerated, that's the one we're taking no prisoners, year and a half of curriculum in 1 year, 90% or better. NWEA 85 percentile score, not 85%, and 85 percentile scores. Percentile scores are nationally normed scores. So we're asking of the students who participate in the NWEA testing that your child needs to be, it would be better out of 85 students out of 100, your students would be better than 85 students. It's a very high percentile, and we have set a low threshold on that of an 82 percentile. We are looking for a child who scores above average for placement. There's an end-of-year benchmark. There's a PARCC score of level 4 or 5. We will not have the PARCC scores that your child took last week. We will use the one that's available right now as 5th grade. When the scores come in, we take a double look at those newest PARCC scores when they're received, and then there's teacher recommendation. There's 5 indicators, your child needs 4. We're not asking for all 5, 4 out of 5. To move from 6 accelerated to 7, since they're in a little bit of an accelerated program already, the indicators are a bit different, but they're still similar. It's the same indicators at different levels. What could their math career look like here at the middle school? It could look anything like that. A child in Math 6 can come to do Math 7 into Math 8. And let me share with you this. Math 8 is what I did in algebra in high school. We are solving systems of equations. We're solving for X and Y simultaneously. We're doing function work in 8th grade math. Function work. As I said, these new standards are very different and very different from, again, our experiences as students as well. Some students may go from 6 math to 7 accelerated to middle school algebra 1. Some students will take that bottom path. But that's what we have available for students here at the middle school. Everybody wants to advance their math placement. 7th and 8th grade is a foundation for their success in algebra. Algebra is the gateway to every other math class they will take. A strong foundation in their 7th and 8th grade mathematics is what's going to get them through that Algebra 1, and without a solid Algebra 1 foundation, a lot of the other higher level maths can become challenging for students. But if you choose to accelerate, we start acceleration and advancement programs in between the 8th and 9th grade year. You can do it by dual enrollment, and I have slides that'll show you that as well. Dual enrollment at the high school, enrolling into 2 math classes in 1 year, that's acceptable. Or doing summer work while they're in high school, or summer work before they get into high school. That's called option 2. It is a requirement by the state of New Jersey, but the state of New Jersey says that it begins in high school, and a lot of the research and data supports not to advance math placement until that level. So we are following the New Jersey recommendations with the compression of our courses, and then along with advancement.
One of the things I just want to add to that is that don't go out and take a summer course and then come to us and say, well, my student has already taken algebra. because we will not honor that. Okay, this is where I'm direct, okay? We will not honor that because there is paperwork that has to be filled out, even between 8th and 9th grade, even when you get to high school. There is option 2 paperwork that must be approved. The state says the curriculum needs to be approved. So Yvette, all of our supervisors, if it's in another course, they have to approve that coursework. Okay? So please do not go out. Tutoring is not considered advancement. These are some of the questions that we get. All right? So it's really, and I know, the things that people usually get upset with us about is math. I'm being upfront with you. They get upset because they didn't get what they wanted in terms of their placement. The other thing is, please do not beg your 6th grade math teacher to give you a recommendation. They're really nice people, okay? They want to do what's best. They'll hopefully have an honest conversation with you. But again, as Yvette said, there is 4, did we just say 4 criteria? Or 5 criteria. That's just one of the criteria. And I'm telling you, we look at this with a fine-tooth comb. We go student by student, and we really have conversations. We reach out to the 6th grade teachers when we have questions about things. If we see discrepancies between their benchmark grade or their class grade and their NWA scores and even their PARCC scores. So we're really working hard to make it right for your child. We want what's best.
Thank you. And it is very important if you choose to advance and use an option 2 to get that approved in advance. Very important. And we help you with that between 8th and 9th grade and then while your student is in the high school. What I also want to make you aware of is if you choose to accelerate in what we have right now, PARCC tested math class, an Algebra 1, an Algebra 2, or a geometry, your child has to take that assessment that summer that they advance. Just so you know. So, what could their career look like in the high school? It's right there. This is what we have. A student coming out of 8th grade math will enroll into Algebra or Algebra 1 Advanced. Algebra 1 Advanced is a new course. It's the first year that we ran it at the high school this year. It's met with great success. They do the same curriculum as Algebra 1 with some extra skills and concepts and with more abstract thinking in that particular course. They'll typically go on to geometry or geometry honors. All of our academic courses at the high school are offered at 2 levels, college prep or honors. After geometry, our sequence is Algebra 2 and Algebra 2 honors. They need 3 years of math to graduate from high school. Bingo, they could be done there. But if they choose, they can take a 4th year of mathematics, and we have a plethora of offerings for a child who's interested in a 4th year of math. A student coming over and wants to accelerate but doesn't want to use their summer because maybe you have a big vacation planned or they just need a little mental break. They can actually enroll in geometry and Algebra 2 concurrently. You need Algebra 1 to do geometry because we're going to find the missing angle by using algebra. So you have to have completed algebra, but you can double up. It doesn't cost a thing. It fits into their schedule. And then their sequence would look a little different than the top line. Again, if they take Algebra 1 in the middle school, there's 2 trajectories. Again, doubling up in math without doing extra summer work, without an additional expense for you. There's an option there. And then we do have some families that choose to do geometry. We actually offer geometry for advancement in our summer school program at the high school. So we do build that in for you within our program as well, and then that's what that particular sequence can look like. Just so you have that in your mind, where and what can my student do, it's right there. There's a lot of options. There's room to do what you might feel is best for your child in their math sequence once they get to high school, but our focus here is building that foundation so they can do that work there. So we do have summer math packets. They'll be posted on the website. We have assistance available for students who may need that refresher. That will be posted on the website. And we have math assignments, summer assignments in high school too. So if you're here for your middle schooler, but you have someone over there or going over there, they most likely will have a math packet as well. And now I'm going to turn this over to Mr. Reamer.
Math is a hard act to follow. So, since I'm going to pull out my special education tricks, I want to take a 5-second brain break. So shake your body, move your head around, give your brain a little bit of a break from all that awesome information that you just received. I don't see anybody moving. All right. All right, so here at LMS, special education is the same pretty much through what you've seen through the district. We have out-of-class support classes that are smaller for our special education students that need that. We offer in-class support classes, which have a general education teacher and a special education teacher. We also have a study skills class and a resource center, okay? You will get, if you have a special education student, your case manager assignment about mid-August. So if you have questions after that, you can feel free to call our office. Any questions? Okay. Indeed.
Sorry, we're having technical issues on our broadcast live, so I apologize. But this beautiful woman here, she needs a round of applause, Eileen Kramer. She is our librarian extraordinaire. She's our WLMS advisor, our student council advisor. We're going to do students at the end. I'm going to actually have them come on and get a view. But health and PE. So this is our curriculum for health, 7th grade and 8th grade. A lot of these things are mandates from the state, so you've seen them before. There is family life education, there's human body systems, alcohol, drugs every year. They need 10 hours every year of alcohol, drugs, and tobacco. First aid and CPR in 7th grade. And then in 8th grade, a few different things of eating disorders and skin issues. And in 8th grade, you've probably heard about our famous babies. They do a parenting project, and they have egg babies, and they have them for a couple weeks. Some people have twins, some have triplets, but they have eggs, and they're all taking care of them, and they have to do a full parenting project. How many of you are interested in athletic programs? All right, so now it becomes real here, because what happens is it's not just recreation. You try out for teams at the middle school. That will start when they enter. It'll be the first 2 to 3 weeks in September. There are cuts, okay? There are some teams that do have to cut because we may only have one team, or we have that many students that come out for the team. So in basketball, how many people play at one time? This is a tricky answer. How many people play at one time? 5. And there may be 60 kids that go out. So 60 kids can't be making the team, all right? Because there's just no way that they get playing time. So they have rubrics. They have, we want kids to come out and make the most of their opportunities, but we do have a full array of athletic activities for kids to be in, and we also have intramurals, and I'll go over that in a second. Physicals are important. The physical lasts, and I think there's a slide that might tell me these things. No, that's not it. Did we move that one up, Melanie? No. There we go. For athletes. So students who have a current physical on file. If you have not had a physical, you're going to need to get a physical. You need to fill out paperwork. And at www.ltps.org, athletics is where you can get those forms, or with the nurse's office. The physical lasts for a full calendar year. So I suggest, if you are somebody that's going to be doing spring track, baseball, you want to make sure it's after that season, because you don't want to have to run to the doctor right before the season starts because your physical ran out. All right, so this is probably a good time to get the physical, because our sports season is ending the beginning of June, our spring sports, and then you can go through the full cycle. And that is also good for high school. So your physicals, you have to get one every year. If playing a sport requires a commitment, practice is every day. It's every day, Monday through Friday, and it usually is from 3 to 5 o'clock. If there's games, it could go later than 5 o'clock. All right, so transportation, that's what's on you. So we have a 4 o'clock bus, but if they can only stay till 4, then they're not going to be able to be on that athletic team because they have to be here till 5. All right, we can help you with transportation. We can hook you up with other people that are on the team. That's where our coaches can assist you, our guidance counselors can assist you if you need help with that. All right, so Monday through Friday from 3 to 5 during the season. Intramurals run from 3 to 4, so they can take the late bus for an intramural event. For more information about our teams and coaches, contact information can be found on the LMS athletic webpage. So there's a full athletic webpage for LMS only, and you can check out all of the information there. I have a list of sports somewhere. That's not it. That's not it. That's it. Okay, so our extracurricular athletics, in the fall we have boys and girls soccer. There is A and B teams. It is not by grade. It's not a 7th grade is the A team or the B team is 8th grade. It's just the team. So there's boys and girls soccer, there is field hockey, and there is cross country in the fall. It's boys and girls cross country. In the winter, we have boys and girls basketball, we have cheerleading, and we have wrestling. Boys and girls basketball, we have A and B teams, and cheerleading, we have A and B teams, and wrestling is one team. In the spring, we have boys and girls track, and then we have softball and baseball. So these are the intramurals. We compete against other Mercer County schools. So we compete against Hopewell, the 2 West Windsors. We compete against Ewing, East Windsor, Krebs Middle School. We compete against Allentown. So they will have away matches and home. We also, I believe, sometimes we play New Egypt. We play some other ones that are pretty close around the area. But it is part of the NJSIAA in terms of how we follow the rules. That's a term that you're going to hear when you get to high school, NJSIAA. When they get to high school, the fall sports start in the summer. They start in August. So those are things to think about as you make your commitment. Now, a lot of questions are usually, well, can they do a club and activity? During the season, usually athletics overrides their club commitments, because they're competing and they're representing us as a school. But if you work it out with your coach, this is where they have to communicate. They talk to their club advisor, they talk to their coach, and they see if they can do both if there's some big event that's happening. Intramurals, we have basketball usually in the fall. In the winter, we have volleyball. We usually do another basketball in the spring. And then we have student versus staff games. So we have a basketball game right before the winter break, and the students that are in intramurals get to play the staff. The same thing for volleyball. We're actually having it tomorrow because we got snowed out the last time. You can imagine that in April we got snowed out. So we are making that up tomorrow. This is our kids. This is our stuff. We do lots of extracurriculars. We like to have fun here. So you'll see our teachers on Pie Day. They get pie in the face. I've got pied in the face. You heard about our great music program. We have our 8th graders. We have an annual snow tubing trip that we always love. These guys in the center on the bottom, they are our field day captains. So our students are leading that. That was this crazy contraption here was our students. I think we had about 40 students that attended the National Science Convention in Washington, D.C. We had Minute to Win It. And then you see this beautiful young lady that is taking a full breath. And this year we were very lucky from the Lawrence Township Education Foundation to have a mindfulness grant. And we were going to be continuing with that. But we're really talking about that self-awareness and being present in the moment and taking that breath. I don't think I missed anything before this, but double check. Nope, that was health and PE. Oh, the other thing that was on that list for health and PE was impact testing. That is our concussion screening, and all students that are involved in athletics and intramurals must have the impact testing prior to stepping on the field. So we will put out information about that when you can come in to do the impact testing. This is the list of all of our clubs. So we have student council, yearbook, school store, science Olympiad, which was new this year. That started from students that initiated that, and we were lucky enough to get district funding to have an advisor. We have Math League, which is new, Model UN. We have, and that is for 8th graders. Homework Club, Art Club, as you heard about before. Our morning announcement crew, which is our WLMS guys. And here they are doing a morning broadcast with our green screen. We have a social club after school, Special Olympics, after school workshops, which is our destination program. And as I said before, we have a drama program, and we have ambassadors that you will hear from when you come on June 6th. And these are some of the great events. So we talked about how we have our house relays, our minute to win it. We have marking period assembly programs. So this is just a list of some of the stuff that we do. We take field trips, we do different activities. We have no homework nights. And those are fundraisers, actually. So we want you to eat as a family, and we put out 3 different restaurants around town, and we hope that you're going to go to them, have a nice dinner, talk face-to-face to your child without having them use their cell phone or any other electronic device, and help support the school while you do that. So those are always great evenings. As you heard, we had a family book night tonight. We do 2. We do 1 in the fall, 1 in the spring. They are really popular. We usually try to pick a great book that kids will enjoy. In the fall, we did the Global Read Aloud book, A Long Walk to Water. And as you heard, we just did Fahrenheit 451. Our kids are also giving us information about the types of books they want to hear. But we want parents to come with their children to that conversation. It's probably one of the best things that we do here. We do a lot of great stuff, but it's a really great night to interact with your child in a very different way. So I encourage you, if you're a reader, or even if you're not a reader, we can get you involved in the conversation. So there's lots of different things. We talked about prizes. We do Student of the Month. Like I said, we do lots of fun stuff because we want to do that. So this is our crazy staff. This is our picture that we took at the first day, actually before school started. There are lots of hams, aren't they? They look good. But they, as I said, they love it here. So a couple different things I just wanted to, I jotted some things down that I just wanted to add, and I know we've gone a little bit over time that I thought we were going to go. Summer destinations, we have a summer destinations program. We are doing that by invitation first, and then once we have slots that are open, we will then open it to the rest of the 7th grade. So some of you may receive some letters in the mail in the next few days as an invitation. We looked through, we got some recommendations from the intermediate school, and then we looked at students, their academics in both math and language arts, and students that we felt needed that little extra for the summer. That's where we reached out first. If we do not get a full run of people, then we will open it up to the rest of the 7th grade. So look for those mailings that will be coming out. The big one that's coming out, as I said, you'll get a video, or you will be getting written instructions on how to select if you want to be in band, orchestra, or choir. So look for that email. And the last thing is I have to do a plug for the PTO. How many of you are in the PTO at LAS? We know it's big there. I know there's more than that. You don't want to put those hands up because you're shy. We want you to join here. Stay involved. The same thing that we want your kids to be involved, we want you to be involved. And this is a great way to do it. So take one of the forms. They don't ask much from you. They really don't. But we do need your support. Not only financially, but we need you to help us in the activities that we do. We ask for parents to chaperone dances. We ask for parents that the PTO sponsors our Student of the Month, and they need a parent to run the Student of the Month. We don't want to really call it a breakfast. It's light refreshments, but we need someone to bring those to the Student of the Month celebration on those mornings that we have it. So if you're interested in supporting it, it is a LMS LHS PTO, so you can stay in it for all 6 years that you're in secondary education. We'd love to have you, and we really, seriously, we do need your support with that. You know, and the main thing is you heard, you know, we talk, and I know a lot of you are here for math and other things that you want to hear about, but we really want to build confidence in your students. We want them to feel good about who they are and what they're doing. So let me introduce you to our three musketeers over here. Guys, come on over here. You can get in front of the camera. Here they are. So look at them. He's like official with his walkie-talkie, but they are behind the scenes tonight doing our broadcasting. So tell them who you are, what grade you're in.
I am Matthew. I'm in 7th grade, and I have been operating the tech for the whole time so far.
Yeah, he's been in the back in the green room. So he's our tech guy. He also does our morning they do our morning announcements.
I'm Matthew. I'm Matthew. I'm in 7th grade. I also do the morning announcements. I'm usually in charge of the mic, so when it's 5th period block, everybody in the school watches the announcements that we record in the morning, and I'm in charge of the microphone so you could hear what they're talking about.
Hi, I'm Hayden Clark. I'm usually on the screen for WLMS in the mornings, and it's really cool. You don't have to wake up super early because we film WLMS in the morning, and then everyone watches it 5th period, and it's a really fun thing to be a part of, and I can't wait to do it next year.
Great job, guys. Thank you so much. So there's a great example of our three guys, 7th graders, working hard behind the cameras, in front of the cameras. As you heard Hayden say, they usually film around 7:25. As soon as the buses get here, they are here. And then we put those on our website. So if you want to see some of the work that we do, you can check that out on our website. All right. Questions? This is the scary time. Nothing? I did such a great job. Thank you, Miss Malasky. Yes. No, go ahead. We have a G&T program, the Gifted and Talented, and they also did the parachutes in their regular science class as well, some of the groups, but we do have a G&T program. I did not have a slide on that. Thank you for reminding me. I think I said it in the very beginning. You will receive, if your student qualifies for G&T, we call it, what do we call it? ECP, sorry. What time is it? I've been here for a long time. Anyway, we call it ECP, and there's criteria to make it into G&T. You will receive a letter from the district if they've qualified in the summertime. And then if you have any questions, I'm going to throw her out there. For G&T, you contact Mrs. Robbins, who is the Eldridge Park principal, but she's the G&T coordinator. So I know the letter always says, contact me, but really she's the one who knows all the stuff that goes on with it, and she can give you the criteria. It's usually NWA scores, there are Naglieri scores, teacher recommendation, which is the Renzulli, and there may be one other criteria that they have to have, and their grade point average, I believe, is also it. So if they qualify based on that criteria, similar to math, they would be an ECP. They would probably not have one of our elective, which is the band, orchestra, that, or they might not have seminar, or they might not have cardinal time, one of those two courses. Good question. Thank you for reminding me about that. Yes. Cardinal time. Thanks. We didn't go over that. So cardinal time is our character ed period. So as you know, we are a district of character. We are very proud that we are a district of character. So during cardinal time, we will have lessons on different character traits, different things that are going on in the world. That's where we also do a lot of our service projects we will do in school in cardinal time. And so they also have a reading period part of that time. So we have independent reading in cardinal time. And then there's usually like a 40-minute lesson, and then the last 11 minutes or so you can do homework. Okay? Good question. Anything else? You can ask us privately. We will be here if you have any questions. Yes. What a typical day look like? A typical day looks like they have 7 classes. So if I'm a 7th grader, I come to school. If I'm here before 7:40, I'm reporting to the gymnasium. I'm hanging out with my friends. The bell rings. When I get dismissed, I go to my first period class. We have a red-white schedule, so what that means is some classes meet every other day, and some classes meet every day. So all of their major classes, so their core classes, language arts, math, science, social studies, they meet every single day. Health and PE alternate. And then things like if they're in band and they're in orchestra and they're in chorus, world language, cardinal time, seminar, ASI, they will rotate in their schedule. So my schedule would be first period I have language arts, I'm there for 51 minutes. Second period I may have math. Third period I might have health and PE. Fourth period I have world language. In fifth period I have lunch, and I might have, what did I not say, science. And then sixth period I have social studies, and then seventh period I have seminar, and I either have tech, communications, or art, and that's a trimester. Oh, there's never nothing. There's no free time around here. No, there is no free time. We work them. It is rigorous here. They are tired. They got a lot of energy. No, the cardinal time has a small period where they can do homework every other day, but that is not the essence of the course. Anything else? Good questions. Yes. Is there a lot of homework? It depends on who you are. So that answer, I should have the boys, they all just left. But I'm going to say that it is typical for middle school. I always hear this from the intermediate school because they feel like there's a lot of homework for some reason. This is the questions that I get in the summertime. Some kids, it takes them a long time to do their homework that should only take them 20 minutes. So they can't initiate the homework a lot of times, and that's where they're having difficulty with. Or they're on their phone, they're talking to other people, they get distracted during their homework. But they really should not, and all of our teachers will tell you, they really should not be doing their homework for a particular class more than 25 to 35 minutes, for a specific class. So if you're noticing that you're getting tons of homework, then there's an issue there. Either they're not using their time well in school, whatever, and the teachers now said, well, now you got to do that for homework, or there's something else going on. And so that's when you got to call us, and then we'll figure that out. Yeah. No. They that alternates, but the max would be that long if they had to do it. Yeah. Not every class even gets homework. There's classes that don't even get homework ever. Like they're not getting homework in cardinal time. They're not getting homework in seminar. Not getting homework in phys ed. They may get homework in health, but it's not that much. Math. You're traditionally going to see math homework, most likely every night. It's some form of math homework. You're going to see science and social studies. Maybe if they have a long-term project, there's always going to be reading. You can always read. But they shouldn't be doing massive amounts. It should not be, 3 hours long. They should not be doing that. Yeah. To be honest with you, I'm going to have to get back to you on that one because I can't remember what we decided, to be honest with you. In the past, yes, they had to audition, and our director would have to also hear them, and I think we're still doing that. So we're most likely, if they were in jazz band at LIS, they would qualify for here, and then if they haven't been, then most likely Mr. Taglarino would have to hear them and decide if they're going to be in it. I think that's what we decided, yeah. Yeah. That's okay. Yes. Yeah, so the question was about being in athletics. There's a grade point average. So in high school, the state requires that you must be passing, I believe it used to be 6.25 credits. Am I right on that, Melanie? So it's 6.25 credits that you had to be passing in high school. And if you weren't passing your classes, you automatically get pulled because it's NJSIAA. In middle school, we got a little bit more leeway. So it's to be honest with you, it's an individual basis. The coaches will go over with you. They will have a mandatory parent meeting. They will be monitoring grades. If a student is struggling but making efforts towards doing whatever they need to do, we're going to work with you. You know, we don't want to pull the plug right from. We got to figure out what is the reason first. But if you're just kind of just blowing it off, then that's a different story. And if you're also getting discipline and other things on top of that. But the real deal will be like, how do we help you get to where you need to be? You can pull your child whenever you want from a program. That's up to you. We always discourage that. We want you to come in and have a conversation with us first. But you know, because again, if they say it's the basketball team, other kids got cut for your kid to have that opportunity. And I get it, because you know you have a certain expectation of what your child wants to do, but let's work and see why they're not getting there first before we just pull, you know. And that's where you need the communication with the coach. Yeah. Hi. No, they happen right before the season. So each season there'll be a tryout period. So usually in November, right before, it's because November's crazy, we're hardly in school, but usually in November we have the tryouts for basketball season. Wrestling is not, there's no cuts in wrestling. So thanks for coming, ladies. I'll be looking for you. See ya. So anyway, I do that sometimes. I call them out, embarrass them. And they hate it, whatever. So I was answering your question. Oh, in November is the winter. Cheerleading will be in November, and so will basketball. And then I'm going to say March is when the baseball and softball. Track, there's no cuts. Yeah. Anybody else? Questions? Yeah. 3 minutes. So the high school is a 4-minute passing time, and you'll notice this school is smaller than that school. But the other thing too is because they also in our house system, their classes are in the vicinity, in the same vicinity. So if they're on Draco, they're pretty much going across the hall. So they don't even need the 3 minutes. For some classes for Orion and for Phoenix, they might have to travel to their science classrooms a little bit further and their math, but they can make it. They can easily make it if they are not fooling around. Now, the issue becomes in the first couple weeks of school, they don't know how to use their locker, they're not organized, they don't realize what materials they need to bring. There's a grace period. We don't start giving out detentions in the first 3 weeks of school. If we're noticing that a student's having difficulty, then we help them, because they're not allowed to take backpacks. They must go to their locker. We help them organize and figure out when to go to their locker and what to carry, because we don't want them carrying everything. And next year, the new laptops, every student will have, it will come with a bag that must be in it. It must be seen. It's like a little briefcase that they're getting with it to protect it. So, and that's going to be a requirement that they're going to have. They won't be able to just carry their laptop freely. Good questions. Anything else? All right. You guys were patiently waiting. You could have gotten up. It's okay. I don't think you're rude. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks for coming out. We appreciate it. Thanks for watching live. Have a great night.